Let's talk about hot men. What are we discussing? What's going on?
I have a lot of things that have been just existing
In your notes app?
in my notes app.
Okay. I don't know what I'm trying to look up. Oh, hot guys.
Oh, you're trying to look up hot guys?
From high school. I'm
You're-
just looking up the hot guys from high school. I wanted to show you at least like one, you know? I wanted to show, I think that Meta thinks I'm trying to talk to it.
Okay, I am very frustrated.
I am too.
With the Meta. Okay, you guys, when you're on
Yes.
Facebook now, and
Yes.
I'm not on there a lot, but every now and again,
Same.
if you go into Facebook to search for someone, now it's like a meta search.
It is.
And it thinks you're trying to scour the entire internet
Yep.
to find something that it
Right
decides
here.
you want to see.
It says, ask Meta AI anything.
We're not trying to ask Meta AI
I'm just
anything.
trying to look up the guy I went to prom with my junior year.
That's it.
That's it. I know his name. Don't search the interwebs or AI for him. I don't want the AI version of him, of Mikey Hofling. I want the real version of him. And I know who he is. So stop it, Zuck. Go put on your sunscreen, get on a surfboard, and get out of my phone. Meta AI something.
Ask Meta AI anything.
Excuse me,
You're trying
sir.
to make this happen. You're also still trying to
make threads happen.
happen. Stop it.
Speaking of, did you notice
Tell me.
that, you know, the @ symbol
Yeah.
that you used to tag somebody with, you know, to pop up the thing?
Yeah.
It's now the thread symbol. They are trying so hard to make threads happen that they've changed the ats.
That's us. The ats.
Don't change us. We're perfect.
Yes.
The @ symbol. So start to type it. Or I'll do it because I'm in here right now.
Okay.
Oh, my phone died. Cool.
Okay, your phone just died. So we'll never find
I need to
Mikey.
go charge this.
Is that the threads?
Okay, but yours isn't doing it. That's why when my phone powers back up, I'm going to show you when I tag someone, that little A symbol is now the threads A symbol.
Shut.
Yes.
up.
I'm like, why are they so desperate to make this happen? I know why, because it's money. But geez, oh Pete, stop it already, Zuck.
Oh my gosh. So we don't want anything
Ask
from Meta.
Meta AI anything.
anything.
No.
We-
I'm just typing in a name and show me the thing. And then it's like, is it the audio? Is it the reel you're looking for? Is it the person you're
Yes.
looking for? Is it this?
Shouldn't they know by now? Facebook's been around so long. Shouldn't they know when we're typing in a name, we're literally just looking for that person?
Please just show me that.
That's it.
Please.
Please.
Look for the 32 mutual people and give me that person first. Why, if I'm typing in a name, are you showing me some random person and then here's the other one with 76 mutuals? That's probably the one I'm looking for, Meta AI.
Not the guy down in Key West.
God, no. I've never even been there.
That was on my list. Matt was in Key West.
Yes, he was.
For the guys' trip. They did Key West. They did Miami. They had a great time.
The 305.
Mr. 305.
Did they see Pitbull?
No, but they did see Nicki Minaj's ex-husband,
And who's that?
Safari.
Oh, Safari. Yes, I could have gotten there. Oh,
They were poolside with Safari.
it was Safari. And I don't believe it's spelled like a safari.
Safaree.
That's it.
Ooh, that's hard to look up, Meta
That's it.
AI. You'll
Two-
never know what it is.
2 E's.
Safari. Anyway, I thought I need to tell Miranda this. I just feel like we love pop culture.
Sure do.
We like a fun fact.
Yep. And Nikki, I can't believe I couldn't come up with that. If I had thought long and hard,
Yeah.
I would have maybe gotten to Safari. And it's because, it's a little bit infuriating for me when things are spelled so differently. And it's all for search engine optimization. I don't have to tell Mark Zuckerberg that or Meta AI that. But and I understand people like to be creative with their kids' names and everything, and you do you.
Yeah.
But we were talking about something recently. I was like, how are we? Oh, never mind.
You can't say it.
Okay.
That's off the record.
That is.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I was like, why does this sound so familiar? We talked about this 2 hours ago. Got it. Before we recorded. Yeah, though.
I know
Okay.
exactly what you're talking about.
I'm just reminding y'all, as you are coming up with business names.
Yes.
As you are coming up with business names, and we have both had to come up with multiple business names over
Yes.
the years.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that we always get it right, but
Yeah.
we do. But think about searching. Think about what you would type in to look up something.
Yeah.
And how hard or easy it's going to be. And then every time you have to explain that to somebody,
Yes.
think, okay, well, it's this, but with a K. It's this, but with a Z.
With 2 E's.
It's this, but with 2 E's Safari. And just think, like, is that going to get annoying? Could it possibly get annoying?
For the rest of your life that you own that business, you're going to have to explain it every single time.
Just like you break, I fix.
Ooh. You break, I fix.
With a capital U. Break, lowercase I, for some reason, fix, all one.
It's a no for me, doggy.
It's sick. It's actually sick, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that. Did you ever ask Lisa Pyatt about it?
You know what? I feel like I did.
'Cause you saw her.
I did see her, and I feel like I did talk to her about it.
Because did they used to own one?
Yeah,
or
they used to own a franchise of one of these places that fixes the phones, the iPads. But that's
don't know
what
if
I
it was the U break.
I needed clarification on the name.
Okay, but just think about that as you're naming your child, as you're naming your business, as you're naming anything.
Yeah.
Just how often do you want to have to say blah blah blah, but with this?
Yes.
Da da da. But take out that.
Yeah.
Like, is that what you want? Is that what you want for your children?
Mm.
And then we could take it one step further. Are they ever going to find their keychain?
Ooh.
Some kids really want to find their keychain.
They do. Like I found your Miranda one.
And it's not always there.
Yeah, that's why I had
Not
to
always
buy
there,
it.
which I do love my name. So I'd rather sacrifice not having some keychains to have at least a more unique name, I think.
And I think people know how to spell Miranda.
They do, as long as I say it very slowly and with like the rights.
Okay.
Because if I just say Miranda, a lot of times
Maria?
people say Maria.
Maria.
She reminds me of West Side Story.
That's also giving me Ami.
That is giving me Ami. That's Santana. Mm-hmm.
I know West Side Story was based in what? New York?
That's a New York one.
Yeah.
The Sharks versus the Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that song.
The snapping.
The snapping.
Uh-huh.
Add that to the playlist. Can't think of it right now, but add it to the playlist.
But we know it has snaps,
It
so
has-
you're welcome.
We're the worst.
Good enough for us.
Okay, we
Did
never
he have fun in Miami, though? Like, did the
Yes.
boys get into anything? Like, were there any funny stories? Did he share anything?
I mean, they had a good time. Boys will be boys, I guess.
What does that mean?
So they started in Key West. So they did like the Florida Keys. They rented a boat. They did a boat day.
Mhm.
Matt did say the going out scene at night in Key West was like 50 and up.
Yes.
It was not youngsters out to party.
Yes.
It was a 50 and up. It's also more of a gay man scene.
Yes, it is.
It's known for that.
Joshua was
propositioned.
I don't. Let's put that on a tier 2.
Okay. Joshua was he was I'm gonna write that down.
I also need to make sure I can share that one.
Okay, so we might need to
But
make
Joshua
a phone call.
has a Key
a
West
Key West story.
a Key West gay scene story.
Ooh boy.
Yeah, and I was already dating him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was this before or after your 12-hour breakup?
It was before the 12-hour breakup, I think. And it did not lead to it, as y'all know.
Yes.
As y'all know, it had nothing to do.
Yeah, it was just your clean apartment that
Yeah.
led to the fight.
It's the cross I bear.
Yeah. This girl, she's got a real tough life,
It's
doesn't
relatable.
she? We're so relatable.
Listen, if you didn't have a dumb breakup
Oh, yeah.
somewhere in your late teens, early 20s,
Yes.
what were you doing?
Well, Matt was mad. I smelled another man.
And we know that. We know that.
What can I say? Okay, we forgot to tell y'all about Brad Panovich at the Bob Awards.
Oh, yes.
Just want to give him a shout out.
Yeah.
He is a local celeb.
Very much
And I
so.
do wonder, how does his wife feel about that?
Oh, I think that she is so used to it. Tammy has a really good head on her shoulders about it.
Okay.
So they were both winners. So she won for yard art, like, you know, the signs, like, congratulations and happy
Yes.
birthday. So her company won for that. Charlotte Yard Art, I believe, is the name of the company. And we've seen her at the networking
At the
group with
networking.
Morgan.
Yep.
And then Brad won for, of course, best weather guy.
Oh my gosh.
Or I don't know, is forecaster, weather person?
Meteorologist?
Meteorologist. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Sorry.
It's giving like flight attendant, stewardess, receptionist, secretary, executive assistant. I don't know.
Optometrist, ophthalmologist.
The guy who does the weather.
Yeah.
That's what he won
That
for.
and he really, I gotta say, in the Charlotte area,
Yeah.
When we're having a weather event, be it snow, be it tornado warnings, I'm going to his page.
Absolutely. Everybody is.
I'm going to his
Snow MG.
Instagram, Snow MG.
He's doing the inches with the snowman. He's doing it all. He really knows his stuff.
He's great.
And he takes it seriously, but also has a really good sense of humor
Yes.
about it. And someone came up to me, again, one of the friends with the travel agency with CTM was like, do you know Brad Panovich at all? Because I have one of the agents who would love to like meet him. Or actually, Carolyn. I don't know if she's an agent too, but she went for best photographer, Carolyn.
Oh, yes.
My friend Carolyn, our kids used to Irish dance together. And so she was like, Carolyn loves him, but she's too shy to go up to him. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just go introduce them. Come over here with me.
Aww.
So went up to Brad and said, you have a big fan here and let me get a picture of y'all and everything. And he was so nice about it. And Tammy's so used to that too.
She's used to it.
She's
Okay.
standing right there, but she has her own thing now and she's a winner. And
I'm so proud of her. I didn't know that she won.
Yes. So I'm like, go power couple, go.
Yes. And he, I feel, just looks and sounds exactly the same.
He
in
does.
Person.
He does.
That's different for everybody.
Yeah.
Some people in person seem very different than what you thought. It's like the girls at Disco Honey that thought I was 5'10".
Everyone thinks we are tall.
We are not tall.
No.
Now
not
I
at all.
am 5'4"
Mm-hmm.
when I stand up straight.
Sure.
And I don't do
When
that
you're
a
wearing
lot.
Tristan's lifts.
If I have on Tristan's lifts, I'm 5'5". Okay. But I walked in there and they were like, "Oh my gosh, we could have sworn you were like 5'10".
Yeah, no.
No.
We just present tall on Instagram.
We're just giving tall because of the angles.
It's just the angles.
We know the angles.
Of course we do.
So anyway,
Angles are
Brad,
everything.
I did thank Brad. I
Yes.
said, the weather you have brought us here tonight for this event is truly spectacular.
Truly spectacular.
Not only is there a warm breeze,
Mhm.
it is low humidity.
Absolutely.
And
Perfect.
we were loving that.
No threat of rain.
And what did he say?
Okay, I don't want to butcher it. He said, you do it.
He said, he looked at me and said, I had nothing to do with the weather.
Yeah.
I work in sales, not production.
He's so cute.
I work
So
in
cute.
sales, not
Not
production.
production.
And I said, we will be
Yeah.
using that.
Put it down.
Yeah.
Put it down. And so Tammy was kind of like getting a cocktail or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then she came out and I was like, oh, we just got the best line from Brad. And she's like, let me guess. He's in sales, not production. I was like, I figured that was an often used one and you were probably fine to be spared. And I still said it to you. You're welcome.
She has heard all the lines, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. And there's so many weather puns. I'm sure she's just
yeah.
like, I got it. I got
So
it.
So anyway, if you guys hear us say that, just know it did come from Brad.
Yeah, but she
And-
loves him. She's such a good sport about it.
Yeah.
I know everybody must come up to him and be like, hey. Like
Yes.
he can't go anywhere because he is so recognizable
Yes.
in Charlotte, which puts such a huge chip on my shoulder. And let me tell you why.
Ooh, tell me.
Because when I was a reporter,
Yeah.
all right?
But you were not at the same place as him.
Nope, I was never at the same station as Brad. We never overlapped. But when I was a traffic reporter, I was on air like I think at one point I counted 42 times a day
I mean, that's a lot.
because I had to be on what was it? Traffic on the ones.
On the ones?
Traffic on the ones, weather on the fours. So traffic on the ones, which means 4:01 a.m., 4:11 a.m., 4:21 a.m., 4:31 a.m.
Because you're giving that up-to-date
Yes.
traffic news.
And it was a 5-hour block in the morning and a 4-hour block in the afternoon because it was a
lot.
split shift. It's the worst shift in all of TV. 0 out of 10 recommend. Don't ever do it
Ugh.
because you never get to sleep and you still don't make enough money because they don't pay you as a full-time employee. So you still have to go sell dumpsters at a landfill. That might be my journey.
Hopefully they fixed that.
I don't know if they have, but I'm not going to go back and try to find
If there's
out
any traffic girlies
us
listening, I want to know. And
what you're getting paid per hour.
I am willing to fight for your rights. Just like I'm about to go to bat for the FSU circus tent.
Yep.
I'm going to go to bat for you because that's not right.
Great. I love that.
Yeah.
And they might need that. I'm trying to remember at that time, I think I had finally been bumped up to $13 an hour.
Ow.
$13 an hour as an on-air personality at a Charlotte news station, which was 28th in the country then, and it's even
Higher now?
yeah. And I was $13 an hour, and I remember thinking, I am rich.
I'm in the money. I'm in the money.
Yeah, no snaps in that one.
Yeah,
no
no
but a lot
snaps.
of this.
A lot of, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Betty, it's giving Betty Boop.
Yep. And so the split shift is what I had to do. But because I was on the ones for 5 hours and ones for 4 in the afternoon, it was like 42 hits a day that people had a chance to see this mug on their TVs.
And you felt like you weren't recognizable?
Never. I never got recognized out in these streets. Never got recognized. Then Joshua and I were at some restaurant around this same time. We were at some restaurant and a crew came up to us and was like, hey, we're just doing some quick scenes at this restaurant for something that we're going to air on public access TV. Okay.
Okay.
And so they record Joshua being like, yum.
This food is delicious.
This is great. They record me saying something. That thing eventually airs on, again, like PBS.
Yeah, public access TV.
Television, like.
Yeah.
And everywhere we went, people were like, hey, are you that guy from the restaurant?
No.
And I'm sitting next to him, like, as people start to come up, I think that they're going to be like, oh my gosh.
You're the traffic girl.
You're the
traffic on the ones.
Yeah, traffic on the ones, right? A Spectrum. And instead they'd be like, are you the guy?
Way.
You look so familiar. Are you the guy from like the restaurant review? And Josh was like, yeah, that's me.
I am unwell.
And I never got
Were you
recognized.
Seething.
Seething because that schedule sucked so bad. I was like, the only redeeming quality here is going to be that like I have some sort of recognizable like notoriety or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, all these other people get to be stopped and reporters and everything. And so I was just like, this is going to be my moment. And instead my husband with his, this is really good.
From public access television.
Public access television. It was 2-second clip. And everywhere we went for a year and a half, I swear to God, people came up to him. But people at that time really thought he was Kevin Bacon.
Yes, he has always been giving Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Maybe he should have been getting into the pictures.
I know.
Into the films.
I know. Now people say Cillian Murphy more than Kevin Bacon. Yeah, he gets Cillian Murphy a lot.
Oh, my
He
gosh.
gets Christian McCaffrey a little bit. They have the exact same height and body build and high and tight haircut, both like all-American white boy look.
He's Christian McCaffrey plus Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, if you just smash those two up together. Because it is a little funny when people would come up to him and be like, do you ever get told you look like he's like Kevin Bacon? Do you ever get Kevin Bacon? Because Kevin Bacon is like 20 years older than Joshua, maybe even a little bit more.
And he's actually aging and Joshua really isn't aging.
Yes, Kevin is aging.
Yeah.
And so he's so much thinner. Like he's more gaunt than Joshua is.
Yes.
But they do have similar features. And this is what I've always tried to remind Joshua. And this goes for everybody. And this is a pro tip. That I think that you remember actors and even regular people, but I think you remember them and they always stay the same age from whatever first film it was that you saw them.
Correct.
So like if your introduction to Kevin Bacon was Footloose or A Few Good Men, then that's how you remember him to be.
Yes.
And Joshua did look very much like him and was around the same age.
It's when they're in their prime.
Yeah.
That's when I'm going to think of a George Clooney, a Brad Pitt.
Yep.
A lot. I mean, even now I'll see a flash of Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise. And I'm like, oh man, like they have aged. Because in my head, they're still stuck in those like 80s,
Legends
90s.
of the Fall,
Yes, but
Top
they
Gun.
are not anymore.
No, but those two look right.
They do.
Those two men are aging.
As I said,
just right.
men can just age and they still look great and it's oozing masculinity.
They're
and
aging just
we're out
right.
here looking like spoiled milk. It's sickening to me.
Tell me about it. So that's that has always annoyed me. Not one person ever recognized me as the traffic reporter.
But now you get recognized everywhere.
Well, yeah, if I
you
had
can't go anywhere.
No, but if I had had purple hair then, maybe I would have, but the station wouldn't have allowed it.
Yeah, but the purple hair now is really drawing the folks in.
It sure does.
They are flocking.
And sometimes people, and I don't know if they're trying to be shady, but a lot of times people do ask me, like, what's the purple hair about? Like, what is it? Why don't you just go back to brown? Like, if you don't, if bleaching it's annoying, or if doing all of this and having the maintenance and not being able to get into the pool and blah, 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 like, if all of that is a burden, why aren't you just a brunette? And I want to say to people, like, you're not a natural blonde.
Right.
And it's worth it for you.
We're all doing this kind
You're
of
not
maintenance.
a natural redhead, but it's
I'm not jumping in the pool. Absolutely not.
Right, but you love it. You like the way you look with it. You think you look prettier with red hair.
It's my calling card.
Yes,
and
same
the purple
for me.
is you. I think the world would shift a little bit if you just decided, oh, I'm brown.
I agree, but I'm just like, I'm not trying to say that it's so annoying and why do I have to do this? That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's annoying to have to carve out 5 hours to bleach and color my hair by myself.
If you were blonde all the time, no one would ever ask you that.
Exactly.
They would never say, what's up with the blonde?
They would never say it. And for some reason, because it's purple, they do. And I'm just here to let y'all know that sometimes it does come off a little shitty.
Yeah.
It can be taken that way.
Well, and purple is a color.
Yeah.
I think.
And that's it. So, to be continued. Bye.
We get to the bottom of things. The point is, purple is a color.
Yep.
It's a color.
Pro tip.
And so any color anybody wants to be, it's a color.
Mm-hmm.
And we're moving into a phase of human existence, I think.
Yes.
Where anything goes.
Anything goes.
I was looking at the sea of people at the Bob Awards, and again, we told y'all the outfits, it ran the spectrum. But
the gamut,
spectrum.
Yep.
But any of those outfits, I'm like, anybody could wear it anytime, and I don't think I would bat an eyelash.
Right.
Because fashion these days, it's just like whatever.
It all comes back around too. And right now would be the time because they say, right, it comes back around every 20 to 30 years. Yeah. And the 90s were 20 to 30 years ago.
If I had seen any of those people in a restaurant, out at the mall, I would just be like, that's what they're wearing. It's interesting to me that fashion's reached a place where we're all just like, we don't care.
Do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want.
Truly.
It's just.
Wear a see-through HoHo dress.
Oro.
I burped at the same time. I'm sorry.
The burpee
we had our lunch in between recording.
Oh my gosh. But even the cute thing Michelle had on last night, which was definitely giving like a TLC.
Hip-hop TLC.
It was so cute. But I was like, Michelle, I think this is your new vibe.
Like, why isn't she wearing that all the time? Because she should be showing off her flat stomach with her ripped abs and her
she's
great
got
butt.
The baggy kind of parachute pants and a little crop tee. I was like, why are you not wearing this all the time?
She should all the time.
So I'm just saying, wear what you want. Nobody cares. Literally, no one cares what's going on about anything.
No.
Nobody cares about anything anymore.
Dye your hair.
Dye your hair purple. Dye it teal. Who cares?
Don't say to somebody like, what's that about? Like, what's it about?
It's time to move on from that kind of thought.
It's because I think I look prettier with purple hair. I like the way my face looks flanked by purple hair. It's the same way people are all doing the color matching.
Yes.
The color matching thing.
The color wheel thing.
Yeah, what's that? Yeah.
It's called getting your colors done.
Getting your colors done. And so people are like paying money to have somebody come and show them their colors and say, these are what you should wear because this brings out the natural undertone of your skin better.
Yes.
This brings out your eyes better, blah, blah, blah. This is my color swatch.
Yeah. That's her swatch.
This hair.
She figured it out. Purple is the color.
I like the purple. I like the way my skin and my face and my eyes and everything else looks with it. And so that's why I do it. That's what it's about. What's it about? What's this way? That's why. Because I like it.
You know what I heard recently?
Enough!
I saw this. I think I took a screenshot. Where they did a reel about when people say kind of little digs like that, where it's like, are you trying to make like a passive aggressive dig? And one of the commenters said, when someone does that to me, when they do something a little shady, I say back to them, wow, I'm surprised you feel so bold to say that out loud.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's
such a good surprised you feel so bold to say that out loud. Yeah. Ooh, let's take that. Let's put that in our pockets,
I'm surprised you feel comfortable enough to say that out loud.
Yeah.
Whoo! If someone comes for you.
If your inner thoughts just come out like that.
If someone comes for you and you don't know what to say, just say, I'm surprised you felt comfortable enough to say that out loud.
Yeah, I love that response.
Because that puts it back on them to have to be like, oh, well, So just throw it back and then become a gray rock.
Yeah, my friend Heather Naya said something similar to that recently because she gets a lot of people who come into her DMs and kind of get chippy with her.
Yes.
And she has something similar that she says back. I have to get the exact phrase, but it's always good. And she will post it. And I'm like, yes.
Because the worst thing is when you later figure out that maybe someone was being shady to you or you misinterpreted their kindness and it was actually something else.
Yeah.
And way later you have your comeback. Way later you think about it and you're like, I should have said this. That's the worst.
We had that yesterday.
Oh, we did?
Not you and me. We, as in the Millers.
Ooh, you're going to tell me off the record?
Sure will.
Okay, there's a lot piling up.
I know.
Already.
I don't feel like we talked at all last night, so there's just so much.
I mean, my jaws were flapping, but it was about all kinds of other things.
Yeah, totally. There was a lot going on yesterday that you had to flap about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Continue.
A lot of flapping.
A lot.
Okay, things we got to talk about.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to get into this.
Oh, dear.
But I think it needs to be
Just
said.
Show it. Well, what? What needs to be said?
Well, there's more. The rumor mill is flying.
No, don't pay any attention to it.
That's what I'm saying. Do you want to talk about it?
No, I don't.
Okay. We are going to skip that this Thursday.
Go on to the next thing.
So let's go on to the next thing.
Name them.
Name them. I also heard someone say this quote.
Mm-hmm.
When someone says they're sorry,
mm-hmm.
what you really will know if someone's sorry, they said, if you're sorry, you'll change.
Oh.
And I wrote that down.
Ooh.
And I thought I should share that with the podcasts.
If you're sorry, you'll change.
So if there's a behavior that you're apologizing for, if you're actually out loud saying, I'm sorry, then you're going to stop doing that.
Yeah. Yes.
So just keep that in your back pocket.
Okay. I used to tell my kids, I would rather you not have, instead of having to say sorry repeatedly about the same thing.
Yes.
Instead of repeatedly saying sorry, I want you to stop the behavior.
Yes.
I want you to stop that behavior. You're continuously having to come back to this part of yourself where you are feeling contrite. You feel guilt. You feel shame in that. All of those are feelings that you don't want to feel. So instead of having to go through all of that and apologize, let's just stop doing that thing to begin with. And that's when I will finally know that you are sorry.
Yes.
So yes, it's the same thing. But I would have to, when you're teaching your kids that, instead of just saying, go say sorry to your sister, go say sorry to your sister, go say sorry to that person, go say sorry. And it's just this, kind of robotic thing that they're doing. What you really need to do once everyone's calmed down is come back to them and say, I notice that you are continuously struggling with taking away this thing from your sister. Instead of having, we can keep doing this song and dance. I'm going to keep having you go over and say sorry.
Yes.
And I'm going to have to keep putting you over here and we're going to have to keep doing this. But I would rather, and I think you would rather too, just not do that behavior anymore and we can just stop it from there.
Yes.
And it's like, but you have to explain it to them in that way or else they're just like, okay, well, I guess I can go yank it. And I said sorry and so now I'm good.
Keep saying I'm sorry. Keep saying I'm sorry. No, it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that.
Because saying you're sorry is saying from the inside of your heart, I feel bad and I wish I hadn't done it.
Yes.
So then if you want to prove that that's true, you will change.
Yes, have some action behind it.
So if that's your man, if that's a coworker, if that's your child, people that are actually sorry are going to change the behavior.
That's right.
And I just needed everybody to know that.
I agree.
Okay, tell me about your ingrown toenail removal surgery.
Oh my gosh, so who had that with me? Leanna, my GP. Okay, was this at your birthday? We realized
It was.
Wow, what a throwback.
She had given us that great little saying when kids are leaning back in their chair and you say 4 on the floor.
4 on the floor.
And we really liked that.
We did. So then how'd that get us to our toes?
Somehow that came into, you almost hit my toe or something. I don't remember.
Oh.
But she said 4 on the floor and we thought, well, that's cute. And then it led into, I've had ingrown toenail surgery.
Yes, I have. Leanna and I both at the exact same time are like, I've had quadruple ingrown toenail removal surgery. And then at the exact same time, we both go, and one of them grew back. And then we both said after that, we had to go back in and have it removed again. And then we both, I'm just kidding. But it was like, what is happening? I couldn't believe it.
I didn't know this about either of you, so I wrote it down because I said, I want to know more.
Okay, so what happens? Obviously, people know what an ingrown toenail is, right?
We do.
They're very painful. They suck. They're the worst.
Yes.
Not the worst. Okay. That's
the
dramatic.
cross you bear.
I know. With all the surgeries I've had to have. Okay. So you go in and y'all, it is such a gnarly thing. And of course, you're just awake and right there and you're watching it all. There's no sheet, nothing.
Do they numb it up?
They do numb it up.
Okay.
Okay. And a fun fact about me, I need a numbing cocktail. Lidocaine alone doesn't work. Novocaine alone doesn't work. You got to do a little cocktail for me. I need all the canes.
Okay.
All the canes. I don't know. But I need them. And so then, she shoots me up. Dr. Roxanne Burgess, great podiatrist. And then she goes in and they basically clip all the way down both sides of my big toes, and same with Leanna. So they clip all the nail down way up into the nail bed, and then they take these long Q-tips that they soak with some sort of solution, and those get shoved up.
Oh, no!
They get shoved up into those canals that they've now made by cutting out all the stuff and the sides of your toenails, and they put it in there, and whatever's on that solution kills the root of the nail, I guess, or something, so that it doesn't continue to grow down. So like both of our big toenails are more narrow than like the average toenail. And so then you sit with that solution and the Q-tip cocktails up there for God knows how long. And then she pulls them out, she removes them, and then you get bandaged up real good. And then you have to soak in Epsom salt constantly and all this stuff to prevent infections. And it is like, it's a process. Now, it's still not the hardest recovery or anything like that. I'm not going to say that, but it is a process. And there's a 5% chance that they will grow back. And Leanna and I were both in the 5%.
No.
Yes, but
and so
only
you had
on one side of one of the big toes. So I had to go in and have it done a second time.
How do you know when you have an ingrown toenail?
Well,
what is the indicator?
There's so much pain. It's very red. It starts to pus and it puffs out because that nail that has decided to go rogue, like your nail's supposed to grow in like this.
Yeah.
But every once in a while it'll go jagged and there will be a little piece of nail that breaks off from your straight nail. And so it's basically, here's your big nail and this jagged part is going like this down into your skin on the side of your toe.
Oh, God.
And that is causing an infection, pain, pussing, everything. And so Joshua also has ingrown toenails, and he'll do his own surgery.
No, he does not. Well, he probably gets them from the running.
Exactly. So he would do his own surgery. I think we ended up getting him real deal surgery after I saw one too many bloody bathtubs. And I was like, Joshua, we have a podiatrist. And one of my kids had to have it too. Maybe Bella, I think. So clearly it's
genetic.
Like, I don't know. But it is so painful. It is so painful to have them. And yeah, I would try to dig them out myself. And eventually I just threw up the white flag and I went and had the surgery, then had to have the second one. And apparently Leanna did as well.
And how long ago was that? You've been good
years.
Since then? Okay, so you're good.
I'm pretty good. The only thing that happened is on the left side of my left toe, which again was the recurring one. Every once in a while, I'll have to go in there and just do a little bit of editing, let's say. And then on the left side of my right big toe, I know this is compelling. There's a little piece of nail that will kind of grow, but it pokes out the top instead of into my skin, so then I can just clip that off. But there's just something about these toes.
Yeah, you got
something about her sandwiches and something about these toes.
Something about her toes.
Yeah, that's the title.
Yuck.
Got it. Yuck. I know. Sorry.
Listen, I'm the one that wrote it down and wanted to know.
You did, but
that's on me.
It's nice to know that Leanna has been through it too.
And you're not alone.
Always relate to each other. And as our toes are up in Costa Rica, we will take a gander at the surgical prowess of our podiatrist, I'm sure. And we will take a picture.
Yes, I want to see both your toes side by side. I want to know. I want to see.
I do too.
I'm not super grossed out by pus. I mean, I like to pop the zits and stuff.
It's just the thought of
it's the jamming of the Q-tips.
The Q-tips going up in the just fresh, and I mean it's bleeding everywhere. This is just bleeding out.
It's like a fresh open wound,
and and it's searing. It's doing something. I know it is.
It burns,
but nothing will shake me. Nothing will shake me, and I cannot remember if we've talked about this on the pod before or not. like Kelly Hurt recounting to me her varicose vein removal.
No, but I'm going to hear it now.
Because we talked about it. I took her out for her birthday last week.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
We were talking, we went right by our old bakery, okay?
Yes.
So, like, we were just reminiscing and everything. And I was like, Kel, I still don't think I'll ever get past the varicose vein removal story. I think about it way too often. But if I have to think about it, here you go.
I want to know.
Okay. So she had a varicose vein that was very bad. It was detrimental.
It was like painful.
Very painful. She stood on her feet at the bakery all the time. And it had just gotten to a place where she was like, I need to get this thing removed. And she came back from it and was like, I am unwell. I had to stay awake through that whole thing.
Oh.
They keep you awake and just alert. Now, they do lift up at least a sheet.
So that she's not watching it?
So she's not watching it, but she can feel everything. And y'all, what they do is they make an incision at your groin.
Up so high,
Because the vein runs the entire leg.
I'm going to throw up.
I know.
Don't tell me they...
And it was real painful down in like her calf or whatever. And so they cut a thing. And they pull out the entire vein through that hole. The entire vein. We're talking a 3-foot vein. Through. They're pulling it. She's awake. She is not under. There's no anesthesia.
They are pulling a vein, like a piece of spaghetti, through her leg.
Through that incision that they made, they pull the entire vein. It comes out just like, yes.
That's like 3 feet.
Yes, I know. And they pull, and she told me about it. I was like, I will not. Look, I'm covered in chills. I literally, whenever I think about it, I'm like, I will do anything. You can cut all my toenails off. I will do anything, but I will never have that. I will never have that.
Why is that the only option?
There's got to be about, I'm like, knock these. She goes, if it ever happens to me again, I'm like, knock me out. Knock me out. She said I could.
Could she feel it sliding through?
Yes, because she was like, they numb locally.
They numb where this incision is.
But they can't possibly numb all the way down where the vein is. And she's like, you feel it. You feel the pressure, the pulling, and you feel it. You feel it coming out.
I'm going to vomit.
Can you even? Like, we are not usually like,
But that is nasty.
It is crazy.
Now, maybe I would like to be the doctor who's doing it. Maybe I would like that. To pull it out. Might feel good.
God.
I don't want it pulled out of me.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. I don't want anything pulling out.
Like to
Ever.
Okay.
Isn't that right, Lance Bass?
Down kitty. So that's we talked about that again, and she was like, I know, that was wild. I think that they might have given her like a Xanax or something.
I hope so. I hope they gave her something.
I can't even remember if they did or not. We'll have some follow-up questions. Should we call her?
You can. Do it. Cool. Is your phone charged?
Yes. Enough. Okay. Enough. Let's see if she'll answer the phone. We haven't had to call somebody in a minute.
I know.
Hey, girl, hey.
Hey, Kelly Fisher Hurt.
Hi, Miranda Miller.
Can we...
Catherine.
Thank you, like the princess. Can we record you on the podcast real quick? We can cut it if you don't want any of this to air.
Oh, I'm a little nervous what you're going to ask me, but...
No, I was telling the varicose vein story.
Kelly, the varicose vein. I am unwell.
Fire away.
Okay. Was your whole leg numbed where the vein was, or just the local part where they were pulling it out?
Okay. Yeah, so they give you the Xanny, and I was like, you're all like wired from that. And then they did do what they called like a local numbing, where it was a needle that they like, just like went, kind of like down my leg with these like pokes. I don't know if it was lidocaine or what it was, but it was supposed to be some type of numbing agent according to them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I did. You feel these small little pricks of like a needle, and you think like, oh my God, this is going to be like a
Like an epidural of sorts. Like, I'm not going to feel anything.
Yeah. Like, okay, I'm going to be numb from the waist down. Like, have at it. Go for it. But not so much. The numbing was like, I didn't think it felt numb at all. And then, the nurse, like, assistant just holds up this sheet, and they're like, you probably don't want to look. I'm like, nah, girl, I definitely don't. And then, the doctor just starts pulling.
Yeah.
And you could feel it. You could feel it.
Yeah, so I will say that there wasn't, like...
there wasn't pain, but there was...
there wasn't, like, a sharp pain, but it was definitely, like... very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I could still feel things. It wasn't pain-free like they, marketed it as such. And it was more of like, you could feel the pressure. You could feel the yanking, and that is what is with me.
It's the yanking.
The yanking is what stayed with me, because you can just feel like he's like, oh my God, like this is when is it over? When is it over? And
how long did it take?
The
yanking and the pulling.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know if John would remember. It wasn't that long, but enough to leave a scar. Yeah,
and it's in your groin, right? Like upper thigh groin.
It's called what they call your staphenous vein, which is like your one of your largest or longest veins. And and it starts like in your groin and it goes all the way to like the bottom of your ankle. So they just
and on your long legs, that's like 4 feet. These gams.
They almost described it almost as like a catheter, like they were like trying to cauterize it through like this catheter that they were like pulling or something like that.
Okay, so Kelly, do we not need this vein in our legs? Like, you just don't need the vein?
That is a good question. Yes. So if it is, they weigh the options basically. Like if this level of varicoseness, I don't know if that's a word, but if the level of that is causing you more discomfort, you have so many other veins, in your leg that will continue to circulate and all that kind of stuff that, that it would be fine basically, or that because my varicose level was so much discomfort, they were like, this is what you need.
Wow.
That's good to know. Yeah, I guess I never thought about that.
Yeah, she's missing a vein.
Yeah, she's missing the snuffleupagus vein. Snuffleupagus?
Stephanopoulos vein.
George Stephanopoulos vein. That's the one she's missing. We got it, everybody. Is there anything else that you would like the podcast to know?
It was like 8 or 9 years ago, so that's why my memory is a little fuzzy too. So it was like a recent procedure.
We know you're trying to block it out, but we want to make it resurface for you.
Sorry. Like all good trauma, it comes back.
I will say I am very glad that I got it done, because I am like pain free and good. Mandy, Miranda, Saul, you could, speak this truth. Especially on my calf, like you could visibly see like my vein like bulging. And that was because, and this is a lesson to all, if there's any, younger gals, tweens, 20-year-olds listening.
Yeah.
That if you work in any type of job where you're on your feet all day, like in a kitchen like we were, or a nurse or a hairstylist, whatever, if you were on your feet all day in any kind of occupation of what you're doing, compression socks are your friends, girl.
Yes.
So you won't get these varicose veins. And I just didn't realize that, and I favored my left side. I would always just shift my weight onto that side when I would be standing, at the table, baking, decorating, doing all that kind of stuff. So
that's great advice. That is,
it's great advice.
So good to know.
Kelly, is this a rumor? Did your vein specialist tell you this? Because I was raised on the rumor that the more you crossed your legs, the worse your veins would be. Yeah. Is that a myth or is that true? Did you ask them?
That's a really good question, and I feel like he talked about that, but I don't want to speak one way, one way or the other. But it does. I would assume it does affect your circulation if you do cross your legs, just like as if you're putting any weight or circulation on one side versus
yeah.
the
well,
versus
look
the
at
other.
this.
I think as long as you're constantly like, yes,
moving.
I feel like as long as you're constantly switching them, as long as you're not always crossing the same side, it's fine. But that affects your circulation as well. So then I wore compression socks. You have to post the surgery anyways, and then I was very vigilant to always wear them while working after that.
Good.
Another vein yanked out again.
No, we don't want that again. No,
we definitely don't.
Kelly, did you look at the vein after it was out?
God, no. Oh my God. I was so traumatized by like the yanking and everything. I was like, find John in the waiting room and get me
out of here.
Get me out of here.
Get me out of here.
Don't want to see anything.
You were like, I want to get as far away from this vein as I can possibly get.
Yep.
Yes, exactly.
I wonder where your vein is right now. Did they burn it?
That's a really good question.
It's like Tamara's implant. Maybe it's in Andy's Watch What Happens Live studio.
It could be.
It could be.
I don't know if it's different. Like, I didn't go to one of those like vein specialists or laser or even like a dermatology office. Not to say that those places can't do a fabulous job. It's not that. I went to like a cardiologist who specializes in vascular surgery to do this, and I was like hopeful that I would have gotten that epidural or hell, even I don't know, give me some laughing gas. Or
just knock you out.
Colonoscopy type, anesthesia or something. Just to get, and I just didn't. They just made it sound like it was this minimally invasive procedure that you would never need any of that. And then afterwards, I was like, you a lie.
Yeah, you a lie.
You a lie. And now we are letting the people know the truth.
Now you know.
And the truth sets you free.
So girls, yes, and men, whoever is.
We have two or three. Yeah, our husbands and Joe.
Have some varicose veins. Just ask what their removal process is like and what their pain treatment is for it, or or whatever.
Yes.
Because I just kind of literally went in blind. So
yeah. All right. Well, love is blind, and so are veins. And that will make sense when you listen to the whole thing, because we've talked about Love is Blind too. Kelly, we thank you for your service.
Yes.
We thank you for accepting the phone call and willing to be recorded. Is there anything that we need to delete, or is everything allowed in?
No, I think
Great.
I appreciate you asking, but I think there was nothing. I didn't share the doctor's name or anything.
Nope, you're good.
We're good. Yeah,
You're good. Okay, girl.
Good.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay. All right, bye, girl.
Okay. Bye, girl.
Yeah.
The yanking.
The yanking.
The word yank.
The yanking. Oh my gosh, I am dying.
So funny.
Wow.
Okay,
you guys. So
I had to plug that back in.
that was
Not the vein, my phone.
A major PSA.
Yeah.
We are in the business of saving lives and your mental health here at this here podcast. And I think a day is going to come where one of you guys is going to need a vein removed. And you're going to think back to this.
Yep.
And you're going to make sure you go over the actual procedure, the protocol. Are you awake? Are you on a Xanax? What is going on?
What is going on? Can we get, like she said, even a colonoscopy?
Oh, yeah, you're knocked out for that.
You get knocked out. You have the best nap of your life.
Correct.
And yet we're just yanking out 3-foot-long veins with some lidocaine.
No.
I mean, that's a no for me, doggy.
It's absolutely not.
So,
and you know what? If you're sorry, you'll change. So do better. You will.
Is that it?
To the cardiologist.
Yeah. What else is on there? You look like you've got what is it? A mouse in your mouth? A mouse in your
pocket? Got a mouse in my mouth.
A mouse in your pocket? Something. What about cats? You look like you've got a mouse in your mouth. No? What's the one that they say about cats? You look like you have a secret to say or something to share. What's it called?
A cat that ate the canary?
Yeah, you look like a cat that ate the canary.
Is that it?
I think so.
I think I did it.
Good.
I'm using my brain today.
I'm proud of you.
Okay, last thing I wanted to ask you about.
Mr. Rogers.
This has been going around.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Where women are being asked, would you rather
I know what you're going to ask.
Be stuck in the woods, in the forest, alone, with a man on the loose or a bear on the loose?
Okay.
And I want to know your answer to this, and we need to get into it.
It's a lose-lose answer.
You think so?
Yes, because what people are essentially trying to get at is women would rather be mauled by a bear than have to be around a man because men are so terrible and men are the worst and they're the root of all evil and this is the downfall of society. It's just men.
Yeah.
And it's like...
uncontrollable men.
You're just trying to force me into a position where you can be like, yeah, see, patriarchy, boo. Like... You're just trying to force me into this. And I won't take the bait. I won't take it. I won't take it on a reel. I won't take it from you. Okay?
So you're going to say man over bear?
I'm going to say this. I have been around both.
Yeah.
Okay?
We both have.
When we camp, we have had bears come up to our campsite, rummage through our food stuff. My parents have a frequent bear at their Lake Lure house. Constant. I mean, just a constant bear. I think it just like lives in there now and just rummages about.
Yeah.
How many more times can I say rummage? and so I've been around some bears and I'm like, well, they're harmless. I do realize that they could eat me and kill me.
Yes.
Or kill me, then eat me, maybe. Hopefully, I'd rather be dead first if they were going to.
Before you go in the gullet?
Yeah. I'd rather be goner instead of them eating me to my death.
Yeah.
I'd rather just die and then they can feast on my body.
Correct. They can just slash that Stephanopoulos vein and you are a goner.
But I don't know. I feel like I've not been harmed really by either species.
Yeah.
Like, I know I think every girl has been through some stuff, like in college or in this. Or
well, and I think the thing we have to say is it depends on the man.
Yeah, it depends on the man.
It also might depend on the bear. Mm-hmm. There's lots of bears.
You're right. There are lots of bears. And so
I would like a spirit bear. Okay, if you're going to make me choose, it's a spirit bear for me.
A spirit bear?
Yeah.
What's that?
A spirit bear.
Why are you looking at me like I have two heads? Like, what's a spirit bear?
It's the ones that they're not albino. People think that it's albino, but it's not. It's like the indigenous peoples are like, no, this is a spirit bear. And so it's out. You rarely see them. I don't think it's a grizzly that is white, but you would see it and almost think like, is this a polar bear?
Okay.
But in the forest, not cold.
Okay, so it's a real bear.
It's a real bear, and it's called spirit bear.
I was going back to like heaven and orbs and spirits and everything, and I was just like, well, yeah, of course, everyone wants the spirit.
Yeah, I want a Care Bear.
The pretend rainbow Care Bear. Yeah, I would like that one too. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. This is a tough one because both can harm you if they want to. A bear innately does not want to eat people. We are not their prey.
Yes, innately the bear is more scared of us.
Correct. And they want our food. They want something else. The human being is not the prey of a bear, right? Yeah. And so I would be like, okay, I have a really low chance of probably dying from this bear.
From the bear.
And if it's a man on the loose, are we talking about he's just broken out of prison?
Right.
Or are we just saying any man? So if we're saying any man, then I'm going to go with the vast majority of decent men.
That's true.
Okay. If we're taking statistically speaking, I think that men are really great.
Yeah.
And they don't want to hurt me. And that's not their goal if we just bump into each other in the forest.
Yeah. And I think for you especially, because you do have that gift of gab, you do have the gift of charm. I think a man would be so befuddled and stunned by your presence, by the things coming out of your mouth.
You know what he'd say? What's with that hair?
And then you'd have to say, well, go listen to my podcast and I'll explain it to you.
I'm so sick of discussing it. And guess what? Doesn't match the carpet. and then we would just be kikiing and we'd be fine.
That's it. And then you'd say purple is a color. And he would be like, I am enlightened. This woman in the woods has brought me to nirvana. And then we finally find you guy after how many years you've been in the forest together. And y'all are kumbaya.
Yeah. We started a new society maybe.
The hair is long. The roots
have grown out. There's only purple down at the tips now. Just right here.
You with long.
Imagine the length of this. This is it. Just that little bit of purple just dangling down here. right by the ace.
You are kumbaya around a fire.
Yeah.
You've got dreads, purple dreads.
Yeah, purple tip dreads.
Purple tip dreads.
Like how boys are doing frosted tips, but it's purple tips.
Purple tips.
Yeah.
And then this guy probably grew his beard long.
Yeah.
His hair long. And y'all are having a good time. And you've shown the world that you can survive in the woods with a man.
Absolutely. And I would like to say, I think I could survive with a bear as well.
I think I can too. And that's where I'm coming from is like, for me, it's not about like, I feel unsafe with either. It's more just like maybe the bear and I have an understanding.
Yeah.
And maybe we're looking into each other's galaxies. He sees my galaxy. I see his.
Yes, your the galaxies within you recognize the galaxies within each other.
They do.
What is it that you have to say?
Then maybe I come to a very peaceful place in nature. So maybe they come to my woods and I'm around the campfire with the bear.
I just don't view myself I don't view men or bears as my predators.
Agree.
I guess that's what I'm going to say here.
Yeah.
I don't view them as my predators. And I know I'm not their prey, the vast majority of them.
Correct.
Sure, are there going to be some fringe exceptions where there's going to be men who look at women as prey and do very terrible things to them? Of course there are.
Yes.
Are there going to be bears who decide to maul people to death? Of course there are. But the vast majority of bears don't kill people, and the vast majority of men don't harm women.
Yeah.
And so you're trying to put me in this impossible position to choose, and I'm going to say, give me both. How about that?
Woo!
Give me both, and I'll have.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Let's get in the woods with both.
Give me both. And you know what I'm going to do if that bear starts to look a little testy? I'm going to sacrifice the man to the bear, and I'm going to get off scot-free. Boom!
That's it. Wow, and now we said it. I think you could fight off either one.
Thank you.
I
do too.
Whether that's with your physical strength or with your wits and charm, I think you would survive.
And I think that you'd be good at surviving just in general, which is why we're going to do well on the Amazing Race.
I think so.
Well, you've been prepping.
Yeah, find me up in a tree.
Yeah.
Find me down in the dirt.
Yeah.
I'm going to be so underneath the ground
Yeah.
that they won't know when I'm going to strike.
Absolutely.
Actually, they should be afraid of me.
Absolutely, and I agree with that.
Okay.
And
well,
you all
that was
should.
it. Sorry, just had to get to the bottom of that. It's been on my list. It's important.
Yeah.
And as always, I need to know your opinion on everything.
I'm glad that we went there.
All right, to be continued.